Another myth that I'd like to jump on here is does overtraining exist? And you're going to hear some people that are like, oh yeah, overtraining, yeah, watch out for it, blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to have other people, well, staying on those people, they're going to talk about shit like, oh, maximum recoverable volume, blah, 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 which totally doesn't understand what overtraining is. And then you have other people that are going to tell you that overtraining is a myth and it's not possible, it doesn't exist, blah, 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 blah again. Both sides totally wrong. Um, well, they're only totally wrong because they make absolute statements. And pretty much any absolute statement is going to be erroneous. The bottom line is, does overtraining exist? Yes. Yes, it does actually. And in fact, I can show you this. You can go to your endocrinologist if you really actually are overtrained. And when you go to your endocrinologist, they will give you something called a concentropin stimulation test, where they're going to give you an IV and they're going to pump you full of ACTH. And then they're going to do blood draws every 15 minutes on you. Once they do this, they're going to come back and tell you that you have what's called secondary adrenal insufficiency. Okay, this is a real condition. You guys can go ahead and Google search this. I encourage you to Google search this. Look it up, read up on it. Does overtraining exist? Yes, it does. It's a medical fact. Secondary adrenal insufficiency does occur in elite level athletes due to overtraining. Flip side, how common is this? It's really uncommon. Most people will never overtrain. Just flat out. Most people will never reach that level. So I do understand why people say, oh, it's a myth, because in reality, the odds of it happening to you are pretty slim, but it does exist. Elite level athletes do fall into overtraining, and sometimes it takes months, even like a year, for them to recover, because it is a hormonal state where their body is not properly producing things like ACTH and cortisol, aldosterone, even their sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone, DHT levels. That stuff gets all out of whack. SHBG, you're going to see red blood cell counts that get weird. Even white blood cell counts will get weird. Their iron levels will drop even though they're taking insufficient levels of iron. Just a whole bunch of really weird, wacky hormonal stuff happens. So it does exist. It's just, you probably won't ever get it.